show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Hossein Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I also want to let you know that the subscriber bell has been enabled, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. And speaking of the chat, I see we already got some activity going on. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or just recently joined, I really appreciate your support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. I also have another YouTube channel called Latina Diaspora, where I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos living in the United States. If you wish to check the link, it's in the description. Of course, I'm going to be doing my next stream will be from that channel. So we have another episode tonight, and of course the topic is, what is a simp? Now, we have heard a great deal regarding this term and what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to describe it in detail, and I'm going to try to show a video which kind of further explains my point, okay? And we have to make a distinction between someone who's actually a simp and someone who's just being courteous and nice to a member of the opposite sex. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. Now, anyone that's been following the election and social media, it's getting to be more apparent that Donald Trump is starting to lose it completely, okay? And the reason why I say that, because if you take a look of all the speeches that Donald Trump has given, the rallies and things of that nature and the interviews, he appears to be confused. He appears to be befuddled. He is slurring, okay. Also, he seems to be suffering from delusions, okay. Now, there have been many people that have been speculating that perhaps Donald Trump has lost his cognitive skills. Now, this is something that I've been stating for several months now, that the Donald Trump that of 2015 compared to the Donald Trump of today is not the same. Now you can say it's a bias because I am against Trump. The bias does exist. Nevertheless, all I will ask you to do is you take a look at all his speeches, all the times that he's been delusional. I mean, mainly when it comes to sizes of his rallies, things of that nature. Okay. Now I see here we have another comment. Okay. Now let me just read over this. My definition is simply the man who's scared for an opinion. Always think of women as right, even when they do wrong, trying to impress somebody they don't like their best. Okay. Well, that's there is one opinion. That's one point of view. I mean, some of that. I mean, there is some merit to it. But the latest ish that Donald Trump is talking about is trying to discourage people from voting for Kamala Harris because of the belief that she's copying him. How? You got me. I have no idea. In fact, what I'm going to do, I think what I'll probably do next week, I'm going to be sharing some video clips when we saw Donald Trump as far as his speech is concerned, as how his cognitive skills have declined, and then you can decide. Okay. Now the question is, considering the fact that Donald Trump is in his late 70s, considering the fact that his cognitive skills has declined, considering the fact that he's trying to get elected for a position that is very taxing mentally, physically, that you have to be mentally alert at all times, that the fact that he's going to have access to nuclear codes and things of that nature. My question is this: do you want a delusional man to be have the control of the nuclear codes? Not to mention the fact that he wants to increase the authority of the office of president. He wants to weaken the checks and balances system, and also that he wants to destroy unions. Okay. I think what I will do is I will just present my evidence, and then you will decide. Of course, I know that some of you will disagree with me, and some of you will continue to support Donald Trump. That's perfectly fine with me. And I see here we have a new person. Good evening, Gaming with Minecraft. I believe this is your first time here. I just want to welcome you here to my platform. Going back to my original text. In my honest opinion, Donald Trump is not fit to occupy the White House. It's not based on his persona. It's not based on all the angry tweets that he said in the past, or all the comments he made in True Social. It's not the fact that he's been unfaithful to his wives. Okay, fine. Well, in any case, welcome aboard Gaming Through Minecraft. You're more than welcome to stay and okay. So, and it's also not based on the fact he was convicted of 34 counts regarding the fact that he hit his an illicit affair with a cornstar of which he tried to hide it using using company documents. I mean, look, I've said this before and I said it again. If you take a look at the men who serve as president, many of them has been unfaithful. Many of them have been racist. Many of them have had severe character flaws. Okay. I mean, people like to think that people who are president of high moral character. Not necessarily the case. Have there been men of high moral character that occupy the White House? Yes. Have there been? But one thing we have to bear in mind is the reason why it's called Commander-in-Chief and not Pastor-in-Chief. Good evening, Don Armando. Okay. I just want to let everybody know that Don Armando has his channel. So I'm going to ask you to show some love and support his channel, check his content. And in fact, I believe he's going to have a stream tomorrow night. I think it's called Open Discussions, the self-defense version. So I always suggest that you check out his content. Now coming back to my point. In my opinion, and again, it's my opinion, I don't think Donald Trump has the cognitive skills and the temperament to be president. Now, do I think Kamala Harris is the greatest? Is perfect? Far from it. Everyone knows I have issues regarding her view when it comes to reproductive rights and some of the other issues which are favored by the progressives and things of that nature. However, we have to deal with the fact that we need someone who is mentally alert and with it. Kamala Harris, for whatever you might feel about her, she is more mentally alert. I don't think Donald Trump is going to serve any prison time. If anything, what's going to happen is he's going to be placed under house arrest, okay? And then, because really, how are you going to put someone like Donald Trump in prison when he has Secret Service protection, where they cannot go in prison with weapons? But I mean, a lot can happen. I believe the sentencing, which will be next month, so we will know what happened, if anything is going to happen to Donald Trump. But in any case, I mean, all I'm going to say is, whoever you wish to support, do your due diligence as far as what they want to do. That's all I'm going to say on that. And with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. Now, before I continue, let me just state for the record, that the link to join the panel has been pinned. If any one of you at any point wishes to hit that link and join the panel and express your point of view regarding the subject, whether you wish to agree, disagree, or state your own personal opinion, that's fine. Okay. Let me just again, and I have to keep stating this. If this is your first time here, and I've never seen you before, or never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage, because I want to make sure that no one tries to flash anything inappropriate which will cause the good people of YouTube to take down the stream. Okay. Now, why people want to do that kind of crap, I have no idea. I don't get into delusion. I don't get into why people feel to do stupid things. But you know the saying, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Okay. So the topic for tonight is what is a simp? Okay. Now this is something that this is a term that we have heard many times. Good evening, Multi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And let me just let everybody know that my friend Multi has her own channel where she produces a lot of great content. So I'm going to ask that you please show some love to my friend Multi. Check out her content and subscribe to her channel. In fact, she just recently did a stream the other night. And of course, I would encourage you to check out my community tab and check it out for yourself. So now, more or less the definition of a simp, and this is more or less attributed to men. Okay, when they go over and way above what is considered normal, to try to please a female and not get anything in return. In fact, let me just give you the actual definition, because here we don't speculate. We actually, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to share what is the actual definition of a simp. It's okay, Irby. Like I said, I don't censor. Okay. The only thing I request is people be mutually respectable. You can say whatever the fluff you wish. So this is the actual definition of a simp. Okay, and the actual definition is follows. It's an internet slang term describing someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention towards another person, typically to someone who does not reciprocate the same feelings in pursuit of affection or a sexual relationship. This behavior, known as simping, is carried out toward a variety of targets, including celebrities, politicians, e-girls, and e-boys. The term has spread usage and gaining traction in social media in 2019. So let's discuss how the term actually originated. Excuse me. Originally a shortening of the word simpleton, the New Partridge Dictionary. Yes, there are women that can be simp too, Irving. I agree. Traces the use of the noun simp to 1903 in an article in the February 1917 edition of Motion Picture Magazine by Arthur Lecasser, using an animated drawing of a female director yelling at a male leading man through a microphone. Kiss her, simp, hurry up, camera. Shortening has appeared, for an example, in the New York Times as early as 1923, when the paper reported a letter of Lillian Henderson criticized the members of two clubs for unmarried men. So that's basically. Now let's talk about contemporary usage. In July 2020, the official Twitter account Archie Comics said that it would permanently ban from people's YouTube channel for common comments calling the comics main character Archie Andrews a simp. The AV Club opined that while it was pretty safe to say that Archie Andrews quite simply, the simpness of simps, the Twitter post was likely an attempt to exploiting the strikes and effect for viral marketing. Contrary to Twitter posts, few, if any, comments on the Archie Comic YouTube channel accused the character of being a simp. In August of 2020, Australian politician Bill Shorten used the term on national television, saying in an ABC segment that Prime Minister Scott Morrison needed to make sure he doesn't look like he's just a simp to Donald Trump. In September 2020, he used Reddit to create a pledge called No Simp September, similar to No Nut November, a month-long abstraction from masturbation. Participation in No Simp September required posters to abstain from uploading women photos, watching pornography, and giving money to online sex workers, including e-girls. In October, McCall of the Daily Dot described Twitter's users simply hard over leaked photos of Hunter Biden. Now, we're just going to park it here. Now, one thing we do have to make a distinction between a gentleman, a man being polite to a lady or complimenting a lady or doing things for a lady, such as opening a door for her, giving her compliments, okay, or portraying actions, sure, to someone in particular, okay. Now, the nice person would know when to stop, because there are some people that will not reciprocate the courtesy. When it comes to a simp, no matter what, whether it be male or female, they will continue to do whatever for another person and not get anything in return. Whether it be being available for to pick them up from dates, whether it be doing errands for these people or what have you. It's one thing when you do an errand for someone and then the person reciprocates. It's another thing when you don't do that, when you do these things for someone else and they don't reciprocate, and even worse when they insist that they pay their bills. That's simping, okay? So those are the differences. Now what I'm going to do is I came across a video. So I'm just going to ask you to please bear with me when I, excuse me, that's not what I want. So what I'm going to show is, yes, Irby, they're actually simp. They're actually people that actually pay other people's bills, okay? And there is a reason behind it. The reason behind it is in the hope that they will reciprocate and that there will be the love interest that they're seeking. Yeah. In fact, there have been some, okay, now, let me state this, because I don't want the female members of the audience.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today this video is going to be a little bit of tough love from me to you.
Sorry. Yeah. See, okay, let me explain to you. Okay, again, let me just state this. I don't want the female members of the audience to crucify me with what I'm going to say. And this is applicable to some women. Some, not all. Some. But there are women that know that there's certain men where they're not interested in, they don't want a relationship or form anything at that point, but they do want to have access to the guy's resources and time. It could be, some of them looking for a guy to pay their rent bill, to pay their car note, to pay their student loans, to pay for their laundry, to pay for their babysitting or what have you, or be available on the back of call whenever they need someone to pick them up in the vehicle. Okay. Again, let me state for the record, this applies to some women. I'm not saying all women fall in this category, so I don't want the females in the audience just to get into a hissy fit. Okay. But we have to admit the fact there are some women out there that know in their heart of hearts they're not interested in the dude, but yet they let the dude pay their bills, they let the dude do errands for them, they let the dude pick them up, all because they want to have someone that they can have on their back and call. Okay. There are women that will not deal with a dude if they're not interested in the dude. That is a fact. Okay. However, there are some women that know that there are guys that are interested in them, and to be perfectly honest, they will never be interested in them. But in fact, instead of being honest and just let these people know they're not interested, that they just want what they'll do is they'll ask them to pay their bills, they'll ask them to pick them up, they'll ask them to do errands, household chores, and then maybe they might give a little bit of intention with the intention of ensnaring someone. Okay. And I see here we got quite a few calls. Right now we have 10 people watching this stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. Okay. And of course, women can be simps as well. However, most of the focus that we have, it appears to be on the men, okay? Because there are certain men that go way overboard in an attempt to hopefully that they will win a female's heart, that female will become their love interest, or that she will get, how can I say this, that they get access to the box. Okay. I'm not going to cast judgment on these individuals as far as the why. That's up to them. Also, how you wish to spend your money, that's your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And of course, this is under fair use, which I'm going to be providing my commentary regarding the video, and also regarding what is a simp. Okay. So let me just...
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today this video is going to be a little bit of tough love from me to you, but only because I care about you and I don't want you to be manipulated and used. So today I'm going to be going over 5 signs that you might be a simp. And I hate that word and I hate to say it, but I think that's the best way to describe what I'm talking about today. So not only am I going to go over the 5 signs that you might be a simp, but I'm also going to go over how you can stop this behavior that is getting you nowhere, but friend-zoned, broke, and sad. So first I want to start by defining what a simp is according to the internet. And basically it is a man who does way too much for a girl that he likes that does not like him back. So I think the biggest difference between a simp and what would be considered a gentleman is the fact that a simp does not have any self-respect and does not know when it's time to walk away. So a gentleman can still be chivalrous to a woman and do nice things for her and be sweet, but also knows when it is no longer serving him and has the ability to walk away from it, even if he is emotionally invested. So I think that self-respect thing is a huge part of being a simp, and more so a lack thereof if you are a simp. And I found this quote online, and I also really like this as well. So a simp is a man that puts himself in a submissive position under women in hopes of winning them over without the female bringing anything to the table. So maybe you're putting too much value in her for absolutely no reason. Of course, I think it's important to be respectful towards women, and it's okay to be a gentleman, but you have to know when to walk away. And if you're doing any of these 5 things, you're not being a gentleman, you're being a simp.
So that is the actual definition of what is a simp. Okay. Now, if you are a guy and you're being chivalrous to a member of the opposite sex, whether it be maybe you're holding a door for her, or maybe you're offering a seat on the bus or a train, that's not being a simp. That's being chivalrous. When it gets to be an issue, when you constantly doing something for someone of the opposite sex and you don't get anything in return, the person does not reciprocate. And again, there's certain people that will take advantage of their behavior, of their desperation, so to speak, in order to get benefits, whether it be maybe pay their bills, maybe pick them up, maybe do errands, or what have you. So now we will continue with the video. Again, failures.
Number one sign that you might be in this position is an eagerness to impress or to go out of your way to go above and beyond for this girl. And plain and simple here, you might just be trying way too hard. I think when you're a confident guy that knows what he brings to the table, you don't feel this need to prove yourself all the time or to impress a girl, because she's just going to know that you bring that because of your confidence. And I also want to say that doing sweet things for someone is amazing, but there is such thing as doing too much. So you're taking her on all these shopping sprees, buying her all this nice stuff, showing up with flowers, sending flowers to her work even though she hasn't called you back. Not a good thing. When you try too hard to impress, it's just going to show her that you're seeking her attention and validation, which to a woman is not attractive. Again, there's a huge difference between just being yourself and being confident and trying to impress or show off, and we want to avoid doing the latter. You just will not have to do this with a girl that genuinely likes you back. And if you notice yourself trying way too hard and impressing all the time and going above and beyond, like I said, you need to take a step back and look at the situation and think, okay, I'm putting in all this time and effort and energy, and I'm getting nothing in return, so it's time to walk away.
Now, she just mentioned a very important point. If you are trying to impress a member of the opposite sex, and no matter what you do, that person does not reciprocate, the time is to move on and find someone that will reciprocate, that will find you as just as desirable. Because what you're doing is you're just showing how weak and pathetic you are, and you're basically a pawn for that person that you're trying so hard to impress, and it's getting nowhere. And now we will continue phase.
The biggest difference again between a gentleman and a simp is that ability to have self-respect and walk away from someone that is not giving you anything in return. And this leads me into my next point, which is nothing is reciprocated. This is a surefire sign that you are 100% wasting your time. If your time, effort, and energy is not being reciprocated from this person, you have to walk away, no excuses. And I know that it's hard to walk away from someone when you are emotionally invested, but if this person doesn't even like you back, say you're not even in a relationship with this girl, maybe it's a girl that you just saw online that you're obsessed with, maybe it's a girl you went on one date with who is not texting you or really calling you back unless she wants attention from you. This is not good, guys. I think the worst thing I see for this one is guys doing this for girls that they don't even know. And so many different things that you guys might be doing fall under this category. Some examples here might be subscribing to her OnlyFans, paying her to message you, blowing up her DMs, commenting on every photo with fire emojis, buying her things off of her Amazon wish list. You guys have to cut this crap out if nothing is being reciprocated and this girl is not your girlfriend. Which leads me into my next point, which...
Okay. Part of the problem is you have to know your value in the dating market. And good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I just want to let everybody know that Gigi has her channels. In the so I'm going to ask you to show some love and subscribe to her content and check out her content. Tonight the topic is, what is a simp? Okay. Now, when I mean is know your dating market, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I am a person in my early 60s. Okay, I'm not bad looking, but I'm not, drop dead handsome. In fact, I'm bald and I'm gold. So I have no business going after someone in their 20s or 30s, not even 40s. Realistically, my best option is to look for someone that's either in their early 60s or in their 50s. Because basically, if I try to shoot for someone, say in their 30s or their 20s, I'm not going to be very successful. First of all, because I'm not extremely handsome, I don't have a lot of money, so you have to know your value in the dating market. And the problem with some of these people is that they don't, and they shoot. Okay, it's like they're trying to get a Ferrari when they can only deal with a minivan. Okay. So now we will continue. Again, fair use.
Might be the worst one out of all of them on this list, and that is paying her bills. If you are not married to this girl, you should not be paying her rent, her car payment, her student loans, a vacation that you aren't on. It's just ridiculous, some of the things I've seen, you guys. I wish I didn't even have to address this one, but I think it's happening way more often than I would like to admit. I've seen a ton of girls post videos on TikTok about how to get a sugar daddy or how to manipulate guys into paying for all of your stuff, and it's really sad. And it's sad because I think a lot of guys do this thinking they're going to win the girl over, or somehow she's going to fall for him and want to be with him, when the reality is she has no interest in you in the first place and just wants you to fund her fun bills and her entire life. So if that's not something that you're interested in, and you're not signing up for that, then you have to stop doing it. I think it's just important to see it for exactly what it is and not what you want it to be. I think a lot of times
the definition of a simp, and I mean, it's usually attributed to a man, but it could just easily be attributed to a female. It is when a person who is interested in the opposite sex, they go out of their way to try to impress and do things, errands and favors for that person to the extreme, and that person doesn't reciprocate. However, the person continues to do it in the hope that this person will eventually reciprocate, this person will become the love interest they're looking for, or the person will give up the box, so to speak. That is the term for a simp. So now we will continue again, fair use.
Times guys sign up for this knowing that's what they're getting themselves into. There's sites about like financial domination, being a sugar daddy and all of that, where the guys are like willingly signing up for that. And at the end of the day, I cannot tell you guys how you should be spending your money. You are in control of yourself and your wallet, and I cannot control you. However, if I were you, I would highly recommend not doing this, and just know that I would never do that. You can spend your money however you please. It's your money, not mine. It's not my place to tell you what you should and should not spend your money on, but just know what you're signing up for, know what you're getting yourself into, and be able to see it for what it is and not what you want it to be. My next point.
Now, there is another point which was raised, okay, which is, okay, you can spend your money any way you wish, okay? However, if you're going to spend your money to pay bills for someone that does not reciprocate, that only sees you as an ATM or sees you as someone that they can put you in the friend zone and be there when they need you, and then maybe give you a little bit of attention, then you're definitely acting as a simp. Again, this is usually attributed to men perform this behavior towards women, but it's going to be equally applicable to women as well. So now we will continue again, fair use.
Is you pedestalize, and by this I mean you put this girl on such a high pedestal that she does nothing wrong, she can do no wrong, and she is going to walk all over you. Putting a girl on a pedestal, or really just anyone in general, is one of the worst things you can do for not only yourself but also for her. It's just going to lead to a ton of disappointment. Someone's always going to fall short. There's always going to be disappointment there, and it's not going to work out for anyone. And it's going to create unnecessary pressure for you, because you're going to go in thinking, oh my god, this girl is perfect, I have to make sure this works out, I have to do anything she wants me to do, I have to say yes all the time, I have to buy her stuff, and pretty much everything on this list also falls into this category. I think people who pedestalize people are willing to do anything and everything for them because they see no fault in this person and they don't want to lose them, or they just really want to win them over and think that doing all these things is going to result in that, when the reality is they'll probably just be using you, walking all over you, and manipulating you, unless you're in some sort of relationship with them. In that case, if you can't say no to the person that you're dating without getting a horribly negative response, then that is a huge red flag that you should be looking out for. And this last point on this.
Now, she made an interesting point. Okay, look, you can value someone of the opposite sex, but when you put them in that pedestal, when you look at them as they can do no wrong, that's a major red flag. And if you are in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex and you cannot say no without then getting into a major hissy fit, that's a huge issue. That's a very toxic relationship, and that's someone that you need to avoid like the plague. Okay. Unfortunately, there are certain people that in their desperation to try to get that person, they'll do anything and everything, and it will never be enough for that person. And I apologize for the noise outside. I don't know what's causing it. It sounds like fireworks. But going back, I mean, that is the danger when you put that person on the pedestal. And now we will continue fair use.
next list kind of ties into that one as well, and that is you are always readily available. You will drop anything for this girl. It's totally okay to make time for the people in your life that are important to you and make people a priority. However, when you're available 24/7, you would go to her beck and call at the drop of a hat. This is when it becomes an issue. Not only does it make you look needy and clingy, but it also makes you look like you have no life, like you have nothing going on. So I see this happen in relationships, which is a little bit of a different story because I think in relationships still it's important to set boundaries. But if this is happening with a girl that doesn't even like you back, or that you're trying to win over and she's clearly just using you for a ride somewhere, or asking you to borrow money, or just be there for her all the time when she's giving you nothing back, that is a huge issue, guys. An example here would be she asks you to pick her up and drop her off somewhere. Maybe she asks you to pick her up and drop her off at a guy's house, and you're willing to do it, ready, available for her 24/7. Why are you doing that? I know that's just an example, but being available 24/7 just really makes you look needy and clingy and like you have nothing going for yourself. So
now, this is a problem, another problem. When that you put your life in a situation when you are available 24/7, that means you cannot have your own life. You cannot do the things that you need to do. You cannot make your appointments. You cannot do your job. You cannot function with your other interpersonal relationships because you're making yourself available 24/7 for someone of the opposite sex that will never feel the same way about you, and that you're being used for that person just to be their personal slave, or their ATM, or to be available on their back and call. That's some of it, and it could be dangerous side effects of being a simp, because if you're not mentally stable, you can easily target the member of the opposite sex, and it could become stalkish behavior, and you can be doing things that can lead to criminal activity. So these are some of the dangerous side effects of being a simp. There's a little bit more, so I'm going to continue. Again, fair use.
this is going to lead to her walking all over you, especially if you keep doing it. What you allow is what will continue. So if you're unhappy with the things that you're doing and the way that things are going because you're doing these things, it might be time to stop doing them. This is the same thing as the texting buddy. I see a lot of fill-in guys and attention guys fall under this category because you're always willing to text her, but then you ask her to hang out with you and she doesn't want to hang out. It's like she clearly just wants you for attention. I think that's probably the best example I can give in this category is the girl who just wants to text you all the time and get your attention 24/7 over text, but then when you ask her to meet up or hang out or get to know her, she wants no part of it, she avoids the conversation, or she just comes up with some lame excuse. So see it for what it is, guys. Again, I think all of these things on this list can be avoided if you just see what is right in front of you instead of what you want it to be. I really hope that you guys find this video helpful. Let me know some things in the comments down below that you've experienced, if you've ever gone through some of these things.
So as you can see, folks, that is the actual definition of a simp. Okay, I think you cannot make it any more crystal clear than that. Okay, well, okay, maybe next time. Okay, now how to get out of becoming a simp. Okay, first of all, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to value yourself as an individual. Okay. Also, you have to also you need to understand that not everyone is going to value you the same way. Oh, okay. Irby, I'm sorry I did. Okay. It's just that whenever you're ready, if you want to hop on, let me just drop the link again. Okay. So, okay. Now, how to avoid being a simp? First of all, you have to have some self-respect for yourself. Okay. Number one, that's something that you need to do. Number two, understand that not everyone is going to value you as you value yourself. Okay? If you are interested in someone, if you wish to pursue someone, or you think that you're in love with someone, and if you try and that person does not reciprocate, then the best thing for you to do is just move on and try to find someone that will reciprocate, that will be interested. Also, what you need to do is you need to do an assessment regarding your value in the dating market. Okay? If you are a 5, so to speak, and you try to shoot for a 9 or a 10, chances are you're not going to be very successful. Okay? Because people who are 9 and 10s prefer to deal with people who are similar. Okay? The ladies who are listening, if I'm in error, please correct me. Okay? I mean, you have to know your value. Now, again, I'm going to talk about myself again. I am a male. I'm going to be 62 years old in less than 3 months. I'm old, I'm bald, and I'm fat. I'm not bad looking, but I'm not exactly, I don't have a six pack. I'm not extremely handsome. Okay. So I'm not going to shoot for someone that's a 10. What I'm going to shoot for, what I shoot for someone in my 20s or my 30s and maybe not even my 40s. Now there are some women that do like older men, okay? But usually it's like maybe 5 to 10, maybe 15 years. And again, the ladies in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, look. Okay, that's the whole point. And you actually you're making my point for me. Okay, which is the thing. Look, I'm not going to try to get someone that's a 20-year-old or 30-year-old or 40-year-old. Okay, I'm going to get someone that's closer to my age, because the problem is, and I don't want to say this for old women, but I will say this. If, guys that are around my age, and they're pursuing women that in their 20s, most likely the reason why they will reciprocate is because of your financial resources, which in my case, Social Security, a pension, and a 401k, which I'll get when I retire. So being that is being that is the case, I'm not going to shoot for a 20-year-old. I'm not going to shoot for a 30-something-year-old. I'm not even going to shoot for someone that's in my 40s. Okay? Realistically speaking, my best shot is someone in her 50s or her 60s. Okay? And actually, believe it or not, there are some beautiful looking, attractive ladies that in their 50s and 60s. Now let me just read this part. Men convincing themselves that the 21-year-old wants them when they're at 45 or even 35 is honestly sad. I agree. I agree with you. And again, I'm going to use myself as an example. I have no business whatsoever shooting for someone in her 20s, 30s, or 40s. Realistically, my best shot is someone in their 50s or 60s. Okay? And again, let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not bad looking, per se, but the fact of the matter is, let's keep it real. I'm old, I'm bald, and I'm fat. Let's see this. Yeah. That it's sad but true. Look, that's the reason why I would never pursue someone in my 20s. Okay, I would never pursue someone in my 30s, and to be perfectly honest, I don't even pursue someone in my 40s. Okay, because realistically speaking, the only women that most likely, if they're going to be interested in me, it's going to be because I have money. I got to keep it real, folks. I got to keep it real, okay? And this is the problem that some men have, okay? They don't know their value in the dating market, and they aim for 10s when they can barely deal with a 5 or a 4. And that's the reality. Okay. And again, one thing about these women, okay, they know when there's a guy that's interested in them, and they know in their heart of hearts they're not interested in the guy, but yet, good evening, Risa. Thank you very much for stopping by. But you know, they'll give the impression that they're interested. Yeah, you know what? GD, that's what my mom used to say. That is what my mom used to say when she was alive. But look, the fact of the matter is this: women are very astute when they're being approached by a simp. Okay, and to be perfectly honest, in a way, I can't blame them. Okay, because look, there's a thing called pretty privilege, where they're gonna use it. They're gonna use it to either get resources from a guy, or have him do errands for a guy, or maybe, if they need a lift, or what have you. And they will put these people in the friend zone. Now, I see we have a guest, so let me just state for the record that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host. Any attempt to copy material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views people on hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. And now we're going to bring in our guest. Oops, one moment. Good evening, Irby.
Good evening. What's good?
Good evening. What's good?
You hear me?
How you doing? How you doing tonight?
You can hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wanted to come.
Okay.
Coming.
Okay. So, what do you think about the topic?
Hold on. It's not like I'm
It's
echoing.
not
I'm
like
gonna
I'm
come
echoing.
back.
I'm gonna come back.
Okay. Okay. But look, again, let me just state, women are very astute when they're being approached by a simp. Okay. Now I know some people like to refer to women as the so-called weaker sex because supposedly they're physically weaker. But you know, one thing you gotta admit. You know what, Multi? That's one way to look at it, and of course, we're going to disagree because, of course, male and female, we look at things different. We look at things differently, and that's perfectly normal. Okay, but I will say this, and again, women are not stupid. Okay, they know very well when they're being approached by a simp. Okay, just give me a moment. But many sell women off land and resources and wonder why women are not. Okay. I'm gonna state this, okay. I have to admit, it is true. No, I cannot deny that. Okay. As particularly when it comes to the fact when the system of dowries where in some countries where a man had to provide to the father of the bride either money or land or property in order to win their hand. So let's see. Okay. Go ahead, Irby.
Good.
Yeah.
Good topic.
Tonight.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the topic?
Oh, simp.
Those
The same difference.
Yeah.
The same difference.
Some other parts,
Of being a simp.
being a simp.
Yeah. And I
Being
think
a
the thing
pushover
is
too.
we have
Being a
to,
pushover too.
yeah. Like I said, we have to make a distinction between someone that's going way overboard to try to impress the member of the opposite sex and someone that being chivalrous and being courteous to someone of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But taking women
Taking
shopping
women
and
shopping
getting,
and getting
it goes beyond simping.
beyond
It goes
simping.
that's
It
like
goes
a sucker move.
A sucker move.
Well, it is the case where they try too hard to win over someone of the opposite sex heart. Okay, and of course,
And even
again,
if you get,
Even if
you get something out of it, I still don't like that.
still don't like that,
Because you look like a
because you
trick.
look like
now,
a
you
trick.
tripping.
Now you tricking.
yeah, but the problem is they rarely get they rarely get anything in the process. Okay, I mean, it's extremely one-sided.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah,
side, but
one side, but
these tend to be due to low
tend to be due to
self-esteem.
low self-esteem.
Yeah, I think part of it is low self-esteem, and part of it is not knowing what is their value in the dating market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna talk about myself. Okay, I am in my 60s. I'm old, I'm bald, and I'm fat. I have no business whatsoever trying to shoot my shot for someone in her 20s, 30s, or even 40s. My most realistic pop opportunities would be someone in my 50s or my 60s, because at least that way they may have the same outlook of life as I do.
Yeah, but most
Yeah, but
older dudes,
most of them,
older dudes that date younger women,
that date younger
they
women,
know what they're getting out of
they
it.
know
When
what they're
you
getting out of it. When you think about
DiCaprio, he know what he
DiCaprio,
getting
he
out
know
of
what
it
he getting
dating
out
a
of it
20-year-old.
20-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, you can. If you, I mean, it's one. Look, if you understand that it's going to be a transactional type of relationship, that's fine. Okay, but it's just that when it gets to a situation when you're trying to engage in a transactional relationship and you go beyond your means, that's when it's an issue. Again, using myself as a perfect example, I would never shoot my shot with someone in my 20s, in their 20s, 30s, or 40s. That's just not me.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course, that's
of
not
course, that's
appropriate.
not appropriate.
Yeah. But I mean, look, when you think about it, it is transactional. I mean, look, unfortunately, you have men. You gotta admit, we both gotta admit that we have men that go after women for one thing and one thing only, to gain access to the box.
What the ladies are
What
saying
the
in the
ladies are
chat.
saying in the chat.
No, I say, yeah, those men taking women shopping are getting women. Like I said, I mean, they may be getting women, but it's transactional.
Yeah, it's tricky,
Yeah,
man.
it's tricky, man.
Trick been around
It's been around
for thousands of
for
years, man.
thousands of years, man.
I mean,
Some
look.
niggas don't
Some
care.
niggas
Some
don't
niggas
care.
don't
Some
care.
niggas don't care.
I mean, look. Now I see now we got someone else in the chat. Good evening, Gigi.
Hey Jose,
Hey,
hey
Jose.
Irving.
Hey, Irving.
So how
Okay,
you doing
Hey,
tonight?
Gigi.
Okay,
there's a really bad
there's a
echo.
really
I
bad
think it's
echo.
early
I
because
think
that's when
it's
it
early
started.
because that's when it started.
Oh, it's me? Let
Oh,
me
it's
see.
me?
Let me
Let
go
me
back.
see. Let me go back.
Okay.
What
So
about now?
Gigi.
What about now?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can
What
y'all
about
hear
now?
me?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So Gigi, what's your thoughts about the
Is
topic?
it me?
Is it me?
Hold on, let me move
Hold on, let
closer
me
to
move
the
closer
Wi-Fi.
to the
Hold on.
Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me
Can
better
y'all hear
now?
me better now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Please go ahead, Gigi.
It's
It's
still
still
echoing.
echoing.
Let me go
Let me go.
out and
Let me
come
go
back in.
out. Come back in.
Okay. So
Am I echoing?
uh,
Am I echoing?
A little bit, but let's see if we can continue. Look, and again, one thing we've been hearing the term simp for a long time. Okay, sometimes when you use a term, you can misuse the term. So that's why I decided to actually have a stream, which I actually give the definition. Okay, what is a simp? And I actually show a video of 5 characteristics where with a
No,
No
saying
saying
that sofa
that
is off
sofa
the chain.
is off the chain.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gigi.
No, I said that sofa's
No, I
off the
said that
chain. It
sofa's
was
off
like,
the chain. It was like.
I'm sure you have a couple of views regarding the topic. So go ahead.
yeah, but it's still, I'm still
Yeah, but it's
echoing.
still.
Let me
I'm
see if
still
I turn off
echoing.
my
Let me see if I
Wi-Fi.
turn off my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me now?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
It's still
It's
echoing.
still echoing.
Hold on, I'm
Hold
echoing
on, I'm
too.
echoing too.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Try anyway to continue.
Yeah, but that's really
Yeah,
bad
but
for your
that's really
playback.
bad for your
Nobody's gonna
playback.
sit through
Nobody's
that
gonna
whole
sit through
thing.
that whole thing.
Okay. Could it be me?
Let's see. You guys mute real
Let's
quick and I'll
see.
talk.
You guys mute real quick, and I'll pop.
Okay, I'm gonna mute. Hold on.
Okay, mic check, mic check. Okay, yeah, we gotta mute when each other talks. You heard? What do I think about the topic? Nothing much. Though I will say though that, men that have the means to trick off, as they say, or spend money, they really don't complain much about doing it. It's usually the men that don't have the money to trick off that complain about it and call them men simps. But in reality, once they get money themselves, they do the same thing. They get stuck tricking, okay?
Yeah, but that's not simping. There's a different definition between trick and sipping.
Yeah, but what's the major
The men that
difference? It's still a chick that really don't like you like that is taking your money. What's the
no,
difference?
but they still get the box, Gigi. At the end of the day, if you're tricking, but if you're simping, you don't get no box at the end of the day. That's why they're not complaining. A man that tricks, he's not really complaining because he's still
Well,
gonna
that
get
even
something in
more
return.
makes me give a fuck less. So men feel so entitled to the box, but they're worried about women feeling entitled to their money. Sounds like an even exchange to me, if that's the mentality you have.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's
another th-
but
oh,
that's,
sorry.
that's go ahead, Jose.
Another thing that we have to be realistic regarding our value in the dating market. Okay, again, and I gotta keep saying an example. I'm gonna be 62 years old in less than 3 months. I'm old, I'm bald, and I'm fat. I don't have like a huge a store case of money. So therefore, I have no reason to try to shoot my shoot for someone in their 20s, their 30s, or 40s, what have you. For me to be realistically, if I'm single, pursue someone that's closer to my age, that shares some of my values. And if someone that I'm interested in does not reciprocate, it's time for me to move on and try to find somebody else.
I'm gonna be 29 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with a simp than a red pill incel any day. I mean, they're literally teaching these men are going out on dates, inviting women on dates, and then when they get there, say, "Oh, you're not going to give me no box, so I'm not going to pay this $27 bill at Applebee's." Like, give me a break. Them dudes don't deserve no box, okay?
Disclaimer: I don't have no issues of getting girls 29 years old. I don't have no issues getting girls my age, so I don't got no problem.
Yeah,
Well,
because the younger women have lesser standards typically, but they're going to want money, they're going to want a house, they're going to want a family and a man that provides. It's different when you're 20 and you're just fucking around to fuck than than a woman who's really going to take you seriously.
Shit, I would be having grown women trying. I be having grown women trying to flirt with me. I'm like, what?
see, another problem is the expectations. Like for example, when I go on a date with a member of the opposite sex, my goal is not to get the box. My goal is to try to get to know the person, and and see whether or not we can mesh well together. So getting the box on a scale of 1 to 10, it's maybe like a -5.
Well, because you're at the age now where you're not like consumed with getting laid.
I'm playing. I'm my. I disagree. I'm getting the box. I'm just playing.
That's why I said though, with younger women too, they're a little bit more naive usually. Their standards are low. I mean, why do you think these older men prey on them?
Like
I
I
ain't gonna
get
lie to
it.
you. I ain't gonna lie to you, Ricky. I find it creepy for an old ass guy to be trying to be going after girls my age. That shit is creepy as hell to me.
And the women too, because there's women that act just like that too, where it's just like the opposite role, but they're the ones with the money, they're the ones that's doing the simping or whatever, just to get, some good, strong young bag.
I have no
Well,
problem.
Big bag.
again, okay. Well,
I have no
again,
problem with older women talking to me.
well, again, when I met my ex-wife for the first time, my purpose was trying to get to know her. I did not go to the DR to get the box. Okay, my purpose was to get to know her and see whether or not we are able to form a serious relationship. It just so happens she wanted to give the box right away, and it's like, excuse me, can I get to know you first?
Well, I mean, you guys were in different countries. How long had y'all been talking before you met her?
We met. Well, we talked online for several weeks before I actually went down there. But the whole point is this: that's my expectation is not getting the box. My expectation is
Why
trying to
you
get to
laughing,
know.
Multi? Come up.
Come up.
My expectation is to try to get to know her, okay, and see whether or not we do have things in common, okay, and maybe it could be because of my age. It could be maybe because I have a different upbringing, so to speak. But that's how I swing.
But I mean, I get y'all's point though. If a person is like, okay, true to the definition, simp, you're doing things, you're going out of your way, you're spending money for a person who just literally has no interest in you. Like, I get it. It's not a nice thing to do. But I mean, I'm just not really moved by it unless it's like my son or like somebody that I know. Because, men use women for their bodies and women use money for their men. I mean, for their money. It's just like the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like,
it
why am I
can
gonna
come.
feel bad for some man who just wants to use her for her body? Like,
Please
and
tell me,
so
Jose, simp is only the same definition as a pick me. Y'all hear me?
you said what?
Simp is just the male version of a pick me.
Yeah, in a way.
I mean, look, and I think part of the problem. Okay, I know part of it can be true. What you say, Gigi, is that unfortunately you have men that look at women as a source of as a carnal recreation, And then you have men that's so insecure that they gotta go way above to try to get someone interested in them. Um, and again, it's one thing to be chivalrous to a member of the opposite sex. It's another thing when you're doing trying too hard to impress that person.
But sometimes it does work out for people because there's a lot of people that get together. They were like, that wasn't my type when we first met, but so the nice guy doesn't always finish last. It just depends. You win some, you lose some, right? It's part of the
Okay,
game.
let me ask you that. What's the definition of a nice guy?
Huh?
What's the definition of a nice guy to you? Because people have different terms on that term, nice guy. Some people think the nice guy is not really the nice guy.
I don't have an actual definition for nice guy. I mean, a nice person is a nice person, regardless if it's a man or a woman. Just a nice guy, a nice person, a
Yeah.
genuine person.
Yep.
My definition is that someone that can value another person and
But you know
accept
the
that
problem.
person.
Problem with these terms, there are really people actually that are simps and pygmies, but the problem is social media overuse these words, and it only means people that get taken advantage of, but people just overuse it here on social media when it, like incels and femcels, they overuse these words.
And that's true. Like if there's like even if you support somebody's channel that's the opposite sex of you, they're going to call you a simp, right? But that's really just because they're jealous because you're not supporting their channel because you're not getting anything out of the deal. You're tipping people for providing you with entertainment. It's not the same thing as
Yeah,
using some guy on the phone or some girl on the phone, you know what I mean? Like if you, so yeah, they do overuse that word.
we've been called some.
So, Multi, are you saying that there's no such thing as a nice guy? Would you categorize me as not being a nice guy?
She didn't say there
I
was
know
no
what you
such
mean
thing
by
as a nice guy. She just said that. Mm. She just said that, which is not all people that
that.
appear to be nice guys are necessary. Sometimes the people that present themselves the best are the worst. Like I think that goes for men or whatever, just to get. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, men and women can do that. Just play this like fake role, just to like hook you in, make you fall in
I'm
love, and
trying to
then
mean like
boom,
the
the
nice
mask
guys are
comes
not really
off,
like nice guy. They're
and
like
then the mask
a
comes
wolf
off, and then their real
sheep
personality comes
and
out. You know.
they have other.
He's echoing. Am I still echoing to you guys in the audience?
Not me, but okay. But one thing I truly believe, okay, at the risk of sounding biblical, you can tell a person through through their fruits, okay, because a bad person cannot produce good fruit, and good people cannot produce bad fruit. So if you properly study a person and this, you can discern person, you can tell who are being genuine and who are being fake.
Yeah, Jose.
Yeah,
There's bad people. There's bad
when
people.
a man is sending you gifts or doing nice things for you and trying to please you, it definitely does send you the message that that person is, more so serious about you. Unless they do have like just a lot of money to blow for no reason. But if it's just like a regular guy and he's going all out of his way, that does send a clear message to that woman that this dude is serious to some degree anyway.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. That is the one. But Gigi, let me counterbalance on you on that. That woman is serious on him too. Now there's women that are not serious that they'll take advantage of that guy. That's where the guy comes in as the word simp. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
But you know what? It could be it can get ugly if if you have an individual that constantly trying to impress someone of the opposite sex, and that person is unable or not stable enough to accept the rejection, and then it can easily become stalking, and then it can get very dangerous for the person who is the opposite sex. Would you agree?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Some people need to know their limits sometimes. There's some people that
You play a
clearly
dangerous
know
game playing with
certain
people's
people.
feelings.
Yeah, there are certain people that know that some people are just way out their league, and they just don't give a fuck. And they get some no names or simps. You get taken advantage of. Yes, as long as they ain't my, as long as they ain't my one of my relatives or friends, I'm gonna let you know if you're getting taken advantage of. But hey, all I gotta do is worry about me, myself, and I. So
Yeah, but I like a lot of old men be like they don't give a shit. They're like, I know I'm damn old, so if I gotta do what I gotta do, I'm gonna do it. I don't give a damn. I got it to spend.
mhm,
Which
those are
is a
older.
realistic point of view, which makes sense, at least.
Is a
It's the ones
realistic
that are
point of
like
view, which makes
embarrassing
Hey,
and in denial.
You know,
Hey, they're like, she really loves me. It's different with us. Hey, Multi.
what are
Or
y'all
even
talking about?
the women with the look at
Good
Cher.
evening,
Or
Multi.
even
the women with the look at Cher.
okay, I'm echoing.
I love Cher.
hold on, are
Hey,
we talking
Multi.
about older people or young people?
Hey. I
Oh, I
just
don't
came
know.
up here because I wanted to talk about the quote unquote nice guy and why my argument is I believe that they are the worst type of men. They're even worse than the bad guy because it's like at least with the bad guy, you know that motherfucker's bad. It's like a beast in front of you, but at least you know it's an animal. Fucking the nice guy pretends like they're a soft, sweet bunny, and they're fucking not. Like it's so weird, and usually they're literally obsessed with bad guys. They talk about them 24/7 and how basically they wish that they could treat women like shit up front, like how bad guys do, but they can't. And they have to find another form of way to treat women like shit, which is being nice to them, and how that fucking tortures their soul.
Yeah, some of them
Are
really
like
do be.
literally the worst people.
You know who you talking
I'm
about?
not even being dramatic. Like, this is the shit that they
You sound like
say.
you sound like you talking about those red pill dudes.
No, those guys are up front. That's why they're called red pill. Those fuckers are up front. I mean, even with it, you see, I'm sorry, when I think of nice guys, I literally think of incels. And these are the guys that mass murder fucking women, or at least fantasize about it and like write books and forums about it. And they're fucking weirdos. Like, and then everyone calls them simps, but they literally hate women. And they only use simping as a form of even having remotely some type of contact with women, but they're really like they worship men in general, worship other men. They do. Why do you think men want expensive cars? They want nice clothes, all this shit. It's
Well, I
to
think they want
impress
that for
other
women.
men.
I think
They
they
want
want that
that to
for
get
women.
women, but for they want women to impress other men. Like it always goes back full circle to like other men. And it's no different with the nice guys. It's no different with the simps. It's all about other men. Like if you listen to the way that they talk and stuff, they'll be like, "Oh my God, why doesn't a woman want me and talk to me? And I'm so nice to them and I have to do this, that, and the third." And then you go and you look at them and they're like ugly as fuck. They're punching out of their weight, like how Jose was talking about, and then they sit up there and they blame the woman for punching out of their weight. I mean, even the good looking guys that are bad guys or whatever, they will punch, they'll punch out of their weight as far as maybe they'll date a girl that's like on the same level as them looks wise. But don't let that girl have fucking standards. She's like, oh, well, I want my husband to be like a fucking engineer or a doctor. And then he's not that, but he's good looking. And he basically is like the fucking male version of a gold digger, and they feel like they don't have to do anything other than
They
look
feel the
good.
most
And it's
entitled. Yeah.
yeah, like they're so weird.
They're
And
like,
I don't know,
I
it's
got three
crazy.
ex-wives. I want you,
I got baby
with no
mamas.
kids, right? Yeah, no baby mamas for
Mamas for
me.
me,
I'm just
Multi,
trying to
I'm just
make you
trying to make you
one.
one.
multi. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, so to speak. So would you say that I'm not a nice guy?
I would say
I
that
would
you're
say
a
that
good
you're a good
man
man
because I
because
feel
I
like
feel like
men that are
men
good
that are
men,
good
they
men,
never
they
call
never call
themselves nice
themselves nice
guys.
guys.
You guys
The
gotta
only
mute.
guys,
Guys,
huh?
Y'all gotta
Okay.
mute while she's talking.
The only guy in this day and age that calls himself a nice guy are usually fuckers with red flags. Like I have never seen any man from your generation, Jose, and up call himself a nice guy. I don't even hear you guys calling yourself good men. You just show it. And usually, good men, they don't have to go out and tell people, and women specifically, because they don't even go around other guys and say, oh, I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. These guys that sit there and say, oh, I'm a nice guy, they specifically only tell this shit to women because they want women to take down their guard. Be like, oh no, I'm the safe guy. I will be your designated driver. I won't slip a roofie in your drink. And they totally fucking will. But you know what I will do? I'll make you my girlfriend, and then I'll fucking coerce you into having sex with me. On a night that you don't feel like having sex with me, like some weird shit. And then they're like, coercion isn't rape, and just fucking weirdo shit. Like these quote unquote nice guys are the guys that walk the line you know so no, I wouldn't say that you're a nice guy. I've never heard any man from your generation and up say that they're a nice guy or a good man or going around displaying that to women because they simply don't have to. That's a new age thing, and that's for a reason.
Yeah.
yeah,
I rest my
I
that's
case.
my
see.
case.
Well, as the senior citizen in the panel, okay, I try not to use the term nice or good or what have you, because the problem is it's too vague. Okay, I just try to treat people the way I want to be treated myself. Okay, and in my case, I try to keep it real as far as what is my value in the dating market, because I got to keep it real. I'm old, I'm bald, and I'm fat. I don't have a huge wad of money. Okay, so
Jose, you keeping
realistically,
it too real.
Too real.
well, I don't look. Maybe not many people from my generation look at it this way, but I believe in looking at things in reality. And realistically speaking, if I'm single, my best shot is someone that's closer to my age.
Well, it's
Also,
your best
number
shot
one,
at
I
it
just,
I
being.
agree.
It's your best shot at
yeah,
it actually being genuine and being real. Absolutely. But could you go find a sugar baby? Yeah, you could. But if you want a real, genuine relationship, yeah, you date someone around your age usually.
I don't see all this complaining about dating and women. I don't have this issue in my real life, so
It's a little chuckle for me,
I
Irby.
don't know.
It's I
Every
know I didn't say anything, but I was like laughing on mute, girl.
time. He's like,
Cause she
I don't have this problem in real life.
I know.
You got that old rich man laugh. Just sound evil.
Okay, let me give you an example. There are women that complain about um there are girls complaining about finding dating and stuff like that. But let me ask you a question. I don't maybe most I can ask you that, but do you have this issue in real life also? Do you have an issue with men or
with
dating
with
in real life?
dating,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't really understand that question because it's like super vague. Like a dating issue or like a simp issue. What's the question?
No,
A little bit more
like I
detailed.
told you, I don't have an issue with
he trying to get in
dating
your
in real
Uh-huh.
life. I
business.
don't understand.
All right.
Older women try to come, even older women try to come and talk to me. I'd be like, no, 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 no. No. That's why I'm asking.
Not no
There are
no no
girls
no no.
also. There
So what are you trying to ask
there
me, Irby?
do you have an issue of dating? There are some girls that be complaining about dating on the internet too.
Oh, like, oh, I
Complaining
can't
about men.
find nobody good. That
Yeah.
type of
I'm
issue.
pretty sure you don't have this issue in real life, Monty.
Okay, well, you just you gonna ask me the question or answer, motherfucker. Well, I mean, I listen. I think that dating, no one can sit there and date in real life and not have bumps. Like that's just crazy. But I feel like for me, the reason why I haven't had really issue when it comes to dating just in my life at all is because number one, I was dating from a young age and I learned at a very early age different types of men. And it's like you know when you're dating a guy that doesn't really give a fuck, and you know when you're dating a guy that's like actually genuinely interested in you and a guy that just wants to have fun and date you, but it's nothing really serious. I mean, there's just it's a vibe. So I mean,
The
and
same
motherfuckers
thing
they
can
don't
be
lie, so can't
the
really get
same thing
around
could be
that.
same thing could be said for, let's say for example, I know a girl that's serious, and I know a girl that's a hoe, I know a girl that's not a hoe. I'll just stay
Ooh,
away from the hoes. I mean, if you want to deal with
yeah.
them, that's your problem. You can't complain about it, but hey, it is what it is. That's why I say these dudes that's complaining online about Pookies and Ray Rays and I'm the nice guy. I'm like, y'all sound weak as hell, man. Y'all something like y'all being. Y'all don't have a daddy and some male influence in your life. It ain't teach y'all about women.
And half of them doing the same thing, cheating and beating. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Pumping and dumping, honey. No, and the crazy part
yeah.
is their mom usually is a jump off, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, a lot of this stuff is repressed trauma. Okay, a lot of people, especially men, and now I can say women definitely are leading as far as going to therapy. Women on average work on themselves more mentally than men do for whatever odd reason. Women definitely work on themselves mentally, whether it be journaling, finding sisterhood, finding groups, finding therapy, finding fucking medication to be on. Like they just help themselves more mentally. And men are lacking in that. And then they're out here giving advice when they're mentally fucking unstable. And then they wonder
I
why
agree.
nobody's listening and everyone thinks they're crazy.
I agree with that because men don't to get therapy, especially men of color. They view therapy as weakness and shit like that.
Yeah, you got to make them go to the doctor just for physical health.
Yeah.
No,
Or
literally.
Um,
Ask a man when's the last time he went to the doctor and watch him stumble, watch him stutter. Yeah, that's nasty. Number
I
one.
did been to the doctor.
Just saying.
if I
I'm just
if I can
saying.
chime in, if
True.
I can chime in, I think okay. I think part of the problem is that for some men, there appears to be some sort of a stigma attached if they actually admit that they need therapy. It's like they look upon in a negative light. And then when you look at the men in my generation, it's even worse. And if you're talking about in the Latino community, when you have the machismo and whatever, and you have to be the men's man and whatever, for a male to actually admit that they need therapy, I mean, it takes a lot of internal courage. Now, I'm not okay. Now, I have been undergoing therapy for years. Okay, a lot of it has to do with the fact with the people in my family passing away, also regarding um, relationships that ended very badly. And what they don't realize is that when you end a relationship, you need to take time to heal. You need to take time to assess what happened. Because if you don't bother to seek therapy to address whatever issues, and you don't do the assessment, what happens is you take whatever emotional garbage from the past relationship and you bring it to the next relationship, and then you're wondering why that relationship fails. Okay, I would like to say as a male, okay, first of all, it's no shame when you if you realize that you need therapy to deal with whatever trauma that you're faced with.
Yeah, Rissa made a good point
Mm,
too. Because the way that everything is now, that people can do therapy online privately and nobody even has to know. So there probably are more people and even men that do therapy than, like Jose, you said in your generation. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? But people can do it privately now and nobody even has to know?
thank God.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's great that the new generation of men actually don't, there's just not the big stigma behind therapy.
Yeah.
So it's good that they're correcting that behavior for sure. Then go back the cause of single mothers. Ooh, that part. Oh, you know what's interesting, Jose, that you talked about the machismo culture in the Latin community? I have heard that so many times, and I'm gonna be real. I don't really understand the whole machismo culture in the Latin community because a lot of Latin men, I really don't see them to be that masculine, if you ask me. I don't know if it's because
Multi
like a
is
lot of
going
them are.
in tonight.
I'm just gonna be real. Like I don't know if it's because a lot of them, especially when they're young, they're real pretty like, or like if they're like a non-thug, you know what I mean? Like they're just like a regular guy. I don't really see them as that masculine. I mean, even when they're all in their little cowboy get up and stuff like that, if you're around
You're talking
Latin
about
men,
South Americans.
oh, I'm sorry. What?
She's
Am
from
I?
Texas though, y'all. So she's
Yeah,
around the
sorry.
cowboys. Yeah.
I'm around the cowboy Hispanic ones, and let me tell you, they are not a masculine, but they also talk about this culture as well. And the women talk about it. And I'm like, I've been around y'all's men, and they kind of talk like the girls, low key. Just and they got some weird locker room talk they got going on too. It's crazy. They kind of talk like the girls. I don't know.
Well, one thing we all have to bear in mind is that Latinos from the Caribbean are quite different from Latinos from Central America, and quite different from Latinos from South America. So that's something to bear
But
in
I
mind.
I will say that
I
with
will
the
say
Puerto
that with the
Rican
Puerto
though,
Rican though,
which I'm not
which
hating on
I'm
them
not
because
hating
they're
on them
like
because
my
they're
preference.
like my
Um,
preference.
but they do
Um,
have some feminine qualities as far as like the grooming, the waxing, the shaving, a lot of it. But
Yes,
I
the
think they're
eyebrow
masculine.
grooming.
They act masculine though. I think, yeah, for sure. I dig them.
No, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They all
But
look
they're
like little
different
pretty
than the
boys.
Mexicans, cowboys, because we have
They're
those here too in
yeah,
Florida. Because we have horses
You
here, so there's a
they
lot
call
of them.
groom.
Gina. You
Hmm.
The
call
Cowboys groom
They're
too.
all
It's
like
like,
alcoholics here,
they
unfortunately. I know.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, first y'all gotta stop saying that machismo culture. I need to start talking about that damn drinking culture because y'all drink like some fucking Brits. Honestly, just drunk, honey.
Well, I guess I'm unique that way because I'm more of a teetotaler. Now, once in a while,
a
I'll
what?
have a glass
A
of
what?
a teetoler. basically, basically, someone that doesn't drink a lot of alcohol. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
now, once in a while, I'll drink a glass of wine, or I might even have a beer now and then. But usually, that's when it comes to like a special occasion, like if I'm celebrating my birthday, or if I'm celebrating reaching like a big important milestone, I might have a glass of wine and I might have a beer, and then I'll just stop it there because the problem is after if you drink one glass of wine, then you drink another glass of wine, then you're drinking three, four. Next thing you know, you're starting to get a little bit of a buzz, and then you
A little
start,
treat.
and then alcohol affects people differently. Some people get mellow, some people get loud, some people get crazy, and some people get stupid.
Hold up. I need to ask about that machismo in Latin America. I never understood that too, because when I look at some of these Hispanic dudes, especially in the island, they be wearing these little flaming ass shirts, these flooded ass pants. Okay, they all look
Yeah,
like
well,
bad
I
bunny.
will say though that that has changed along with the culture in the younger generation. Because even my
Mm.
friend's husband, she's like, her husband's wearing these weird funky pants and shit, like he's a reggaeton artist and shit. So it's
Oh
the
God.
culture that has shifted, but they didn't always look like that. They used to dress like New Yorkers before, like you know what I mean,
You
like
know what? I do think the
baggy.
location definitely does matter because I will say
Mhm.
that looking at the Hispanic population in New York, I don't get that feminine feel as much as I do, from certain Latin communities, especially like in Texas. I'm like, ugh, y'all are a bit, you're dressing like a cowboy, but you're not giving cowboy, if you know what I mean. So it's like, I'm a lot of them are real effeminate, especially like with the grooming and stuff, like the doing their like literally waxing their eyebrows. Like that's crazy. But I
But
get
I
it. They
ain't
don't want
never
to
seen
walk around with the unibrow. Totally understand, but you don't
the,
have to wax it.
the,
Um,
the, the Hispanics
mm-mm.
here never acted like that. Like they never acted like that. They always acted like hip hop to me. All my they
That's
never
what I'm
acted like that.
saying though. But there is a shift with, like I said, the reggaeton music and stuff. They got like Bad Bunny and the nail
Mhm.
polish and the feminine
Oh
shit.
my
And like,
god,
but in general, it's all music, right? The
it
men are just
is.
like more
No, I'm
fruitier.
seeing black guys paint their nails too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you look stupid. And then with the pearl necklaces and stuff like that, and I get it. I guess it's a fashion piece, but it still looks like that belongs on a girl.
Yeah, I didn't see
Um,
the dude in the Olympics with the with the nail polish in his hand.
yeah, I saw it in his little, what's it called? Them fucking Pokemon cards or whatever the hell it is. Ugh, honey, stop. It's not cute.
Well,
I don't think it's cute.
And don't forget little Uzi Vert.
but you know what I think it's over the top when you see the mariachi bands and you see those Mexicans with those humongous bra hats and those at the wall that outfits. I mean, it looks a little uh weird to me.
The extreme is highly offensive.
Those are just ugly, to be honest. But you know what? You
So,
know what I always wanted to ask? What is the significance to the mariachi band? Because I've seen people get their moms and their grandmas and their dads mariachi bands for like special occasions, and usually like they'll start crying. So like, what's the significance behind that?
You know what? You would really need to ask Mexicans regarding that. I
Ah,
guess maybe it
Isn't it
brings
just a
something
nice
Isn't it
about
just
it.
a
sentiment
nice
of
sentiment
somebody
of
getting
somebody
live
getting
music
live
for you?
music for you?
Yes, and also, if you ever been to a Mexican wedding, it's like it's like it's like it's like they're getting overdose in mariachi music.
I love
mm-hmm.
when I
I
go to the
love when I go to the
Mexican
Mexican
restaurants and they
restaurant.
come out and they be jamming in that bitch. Like it be somebody's birthday and they come out with the band and
It'd
yeah,
be
and they
so
be like,
fun.
yeah.
Jose, let me ask you
Yeah.
something. Especially the men on the panel. Do you think it is a conspiracy for them to emasculate men in America, especially younger men?
Yeah, they're
Because
living their soft life now. That's how much it's worth.
Much as words.
Okay,
Soft
me,
boy era.
Sophomore era.
okay. Now I'm gonna try to be as fair and unbiased as possible, being on the host. I think what it is you have a combination of factors. Okay, part of it. I mean, like for example, when it comes to the soft guy era, basically, it's their response to sprinkle sprinkle, and
No,
also
Jose,
No,
they're
Jose,
actual
they're
bumps.
actual bumps.
No, Sprinkle
The
Sprinkle was
sprinkle
a
sprinkle was
response
the
to Red Pill.
response to red pill.
okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, well, you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm not that well versed regarding red pill, okay, because I don't consume their content. I but look, this is how I look at things, okay. I believe in treating treating people the same way I want to be treated. Okay? And I believe everyone, you know, are people of value. Okay? And which means you respect them for what they are. Okay? Maybe I'm being a little bit naive, but that is just my orientation. So I'm not really all that familiar with the red pill, blue pill, whatever. Okay.
Oh, just on some
Oh, just
random
on some
shit.
random shit.
I hate that I'm
I hate that
echoing.
I'm echoing.
Um, okay, I'm not anymore. Thank y'all. Just to be, I guess it's a little bit messy or whatever, but just to get it out, like that same person, which I never mention or even on my channel or acknowledge or really in general, for whatever reason is still over there calling me names, cunt and shit like that. I just want to say that he has kind of reached like his newest low. So, they're calling on that channel black people the former slaves, which I find highly offensive and disgusting coming from a mixed race person. And also, the
And
last time I checked, mulattoes were slaves as well,
oh my God,
former
it's
slaves.
They
just
made up more than half the slave population, and he's so ignorant because he has this whole history channel of mulatto history, but somehow that's left out.
I'm
I
starting
That's
to
don't
left
know.
out
question
of
It's
the
just
is
like,
history lesson.
is
why?
Fucking
he
weirdo.
is
Just
he
you can be
trolling
pro
or is he
mixed
simply
race
like?
and not be like that. It's just so
Anti-black.
embarrassing.
Honestly, a lot of these people in this space are fucking embarrassing with the bleaching, with the anti-blackness slash anti their fucking selves. Like, I don't understand how you can say you're pro mulatto, but you're anti-black. You wouldn't be a mulatto without being half black, dumbass.
Facts.
Oh, Monty, you ever
Facts.
went on to
Goofy.
see somebody hit
It
their
takes
channel?
two to make a thing go right. Okay.
Monty, you ever went on to
Hey.
see somebody
No,
hit their
literally.
channel?
Huh?
Huh?
Went on the street, somebody hit their channel, Monty?
Who hit their channel?
You talking about
Oh,
Paris?
Paris.
Oh. I was like,
I was like,
who?
ooh.
You know I'm not out
That
here.
doesn't. They're acting like that's a big deal. Like, oh my God, You really
It
think
happens all the
that
time.
she is
Yeah.
chased off of the damn YouTube with all them subscribers? She gets so much bread from YouTube. She is. That lets me know right now she's probably taking legal action. Like
That's
literally,
what I
like
was saying. Yep.
following through.
Hmm.
But what legal
Um,
action
e-
you can take on YouTube though? What legal
excuse
action you
me.
can really
I'm sorry.
with?
Um, Now I'm not all that up to date when it comes to mulattoes, okay? But I mean, but I think isn't part of the reason why some of the mulattoes think the way they think is they perceive mistreatment from certain members of the African American community. Like I'm not condoning any bad behavior. I
Yeah, that's an
mean,
aspect
Yeah,
of it,
that's
of
an aspect
course.
of it, of course.
But
That don't
it
make
just
it. That don't make it
That
right.
doesn't make it right.
I don't understand how you would call
I don't
somebody
understand how you gonna call
slave,
somebody
somebody
slave.
slave and mulatto, but this man, from last time I checked, he had like Frederick Douglass or Booker T. Washington on his pitch on his channel. I'm like, was he not a mulatto? Was he not a slave? So
I've
I'm
had
confused.
white people
It's,
be racist to me and call me the N word and stuff like that. Does that mean I hate white people? No, that would be weird.
I agree.
So
I
I
think
some
that
agree.
this
people
I
is
think
they
both
just use
ways.
that as an excuse to
Yeah.
hate on black people, which they had already been doing, pre-existence. Like that was already there. I don't think that's not something that just comes out of nowhere. That was already there before they came on YouTube.
see, this is what I'm talking about. These is the same thing. These motherfuckers dealt with trauma. I think they got bullied. They got bullied when they were growing up, and that black side of their family wasn't there. It's sort of like the red pill. When you really listen to these red pill guys, it's not like they got bullied in school and they
It
got
sounds like they got rejected
rejected by girls. They were like
because
the
that's
nerds. They
exactly how
were,
they sound. Because we all know rejection is the worst thing in the world that could happen to a fucking man.
yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. They sound like Revenge of the Nerds. If Revenge of the Nerds would have been on social media.
excuse me, I have a question. Now, would the red pill would they be similar to the MGTOW people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not well. The
Not well. The
MGTOW,
big
they don't want
cow. They
nothing
don't
to do
want.
with women anymore. And then I know I sound weird and yelly. It's because I'm echoing. Um, and the other ones, they still want women. They just want to be with them and treat them like shit. You know.
The mix, first of all,
They just want them to lower their standards.
the MGTOW movement is weird as hell, and they sound similar to the 4B movement.
No, they were the 4B movement before the 4B movement, which is so crazy because all these men are like, oh my God, the 4B movement, but they didn't have that energy for MGTOW.
And this is why I
Because don't
said you
nobody give a
shouldn't
shit if
feel.
men don't want women. Great. Good. Thank God. Good riddance. Hopefully the fucking crime rate will go down. The violent crimes
So
towards women, hopefully that goes down since you don't well, since you want to go your own way.
But you know what's the funny thing when I have done dated outside the United States, I have never at the same time put down American women either. It just so happens I fell in love with someone that was born outside of the US of A. That's all it is.
I mean, you live in a very diverse area, so like you literally don't even have to be if you live in New York, you don't have to be a passport bro. Everybody's there.
That's true.
if you live in Florida too, Gigi, you don't got to be a
Straight off the
passport
boat.
holder.
And you're
Huh?
Dominican and your girl's Dominican, so it just makes sense. Like it wouldn't matter if she had came from New York or from, the
Jose's Puerto
motherland.
Rican.
You just happen to oh shit, sorry.
Motherland.
Well,
You Dominican?
actually, just for clarification, I'm Puerto Rican. It just so happens I went to the Dominican Day Parade because I never been to the parade, so I wanted to experience it for myself. But
How was
yes,
it?
That's literally why I said it too.
You know what? It was. You know what? I had. I had a good time seeing. It's a different type of parade, and actually, I also met up with Don Armando.
Oh
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Did you meet up with the other person, the other Dominican Jose?
Which other Dominican? You want to say in the back chat?
Oh,
I mean, I did not
Jose,
meet
you're
up
the
with
one
him.
that's making everybody echo. Look, watch. See, as soon as you mute it, there's no echo. I would go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
no, it's
I mean,
Just no one talk when Jose's unmuted. Just let Jose talk.
okay. Actually, I didn't meet up with anybody else. But you know what? I thought I would meet up with other people because I do know a couple. I do know other. YouTube creators who are Dominican. I did not see either one. The only other person I saw was Don Armando.
That's nice. Was that y'all's first time meeting?
No, we have met before. It's just that last year we went to the Bronx Dominican Day Parade. Okay, and he had come to New York. I had gone to Philadelphia, so we would chat, and of course I would get the tea regarding what's going on in these outside of these YouTube streets regarding certain members of the peanut gallery and members of the circus and how how the circus is alive and unwell, if you get my drift.
Mhm. Yeah, these guys are crazy. They're crazy. They're all over the place, hypocritical. But you know what? I just let them be them.
I just don't understand. Instead of them coming
Yeah, I wasn't
together,
even gonna bring up the name calling and stuff because I'm like, damn, I'm not even like whatever. I guess I just live rent free in your mind. But it was just like that was the new thing because before he brought up the fact that I had brought up on your stream that they were calling them Bantus, and so then he was just saying, yeah, the former slaves, and I was just like, literally, I am
Ugh,
just appalled by him. I am appalled by him.
he's so gross. He really
and
is.
has the
He like
nerve to
as
call us
and it's so
trash.
crazy
You're
to say
trash.
that as if you're so far removed from it. Like, bitch, you're not. Like that is crazy. Like
You
honestly.
know,
He's
you know
so
what I'm
crazy.
saying?
He might as well be making fun of motherfuckers who are losing their hairline as if he's not fucking bald. That's
You know,
basically like what that is.
you know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think it's either two things. It's either he thinks he's a white man or he's a tether. He's an African tether.
He could be. I could see that. I could
Because
see
I
that
don't
he
know, but
could be a African tether in disguise. Like I really could see that because I'm not understanding where
it
the
sounds like something with them African.
specifically American hatred is
yeah, but this is
coming
a
from, and
person
you're
that's
already a little passport, bro.
this
Because
is a
it sounds
person
like
that
the
says
same
they're
thing.
from California though, and California is very diverse. And I hear a lot of people from there say they all pretty much like integrate and get along, kind of like New York. You know what I mean? Um, so it is kind of strange because there would be other people of color that would kind of act like that, like a Brad or whatever. So I
Mm.
don't know what the issue. I don't think he was getting beat up every day and all that type of stuff. I don't know. I don't
It's the
know.
identity
But
issues for me, honey.
it's the whole point that as a biracial person that we have that unique experience like of getting different things from both sides. So to be just so focused
Hmm.
on one side with hate, that is just very strange to me because it's not like
But,
it's the same energy both ways.
Oh no,
but
not at all.
he came from the Umar sector. He used to be
You
from the
don't hear
Umar
him calling
sector.
white people colonizers, but he's calling black people former slaves.
He came from the Umar sector. I remember that because I remember this. I don't know what was his name, Byrish or Tier, something like some other guy. It was somebody. He came from the Umar sector. What's his name?
Hmm. We know. We know his little history. And it's not surprising at all. Like I said, he literally sounds like a man scorned, like someone who's been fucking rejected, just like he was rejected by the women over here in America. And so all he does is talk shit about fucking America as well. And now he's resorted to being a passport bro. And I'm gonna tell you this, they're not gonna like you any better because you literally are a shit person universally. Internationally, babe.
Internationally, babe.
I just don't understand. They all
Yeah,
wanted
they're
to.
at,
I mean,
they just want your pesos for the cucha, for the chocha. They want the
Give me
pesos.
peso, mwah, extendo, motherfucker.
I just don't feel like
Um,
they all
if
They all,
if I
they
can
all went.
can if I can cut in, okay, as someone that has dated internationally, okay, of course it's it was for the purpose of falling in love and finding someone that can accept me for who I am, okay, but at the same time I never put down American women. It just so happens, you cannot help who you fall in love with. Now, when it comes to his content, I understand wanting to create a separate community for people like who think like him, which is perfectly fine. It's just that if I was in that community, I would focus about you know make being proud of who you are, trying to trying to create a healthy image regarding the identity, and and just fight for to make sure that they are accepted as a separate community. But
The
that's me.
reality is
The
that it's
reality is that it's clear.
oh damn it, I'm echoing. It's clicks, views, and money for being anti-black on YouTube. This is why Exoticals this is why they all do it because the shock jock syndrome. That's what unfortunately people tune in to see the shit show. You know what I
shit.
mean?
I'm gonna stand with
And the
my skin.
craziest part is their main audience is black people.
I mean, it's so bad that you got black
The
people
fuck?
pretending to be other types of people, bashing black people online for coin. Okay?
Hmm.
Because
They pretend to be other races.
they think if they have smaller futures, they're different.
Teen features.
But I don't know. As far
What
as
was that? What was
the
that
Oh, did y'all
facial feature
see?
they were saying they had?
EU came for Miss Elite on her new video. She sure did.
Oh, why?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. She put the
What did Miss
comment
Elite
section or
do?
whatever. Oh, she was just being Miss Elite. Honestly, Miss Elite, she's all over the place. Like she goes, you know how Miss Elite is. Like she don't really mean no harm
Yeah.
though. Let's be honest. So in EU, just but EU's like that. If you, what did she say when we criticized her when we fell out? This is highly inappropriate. Nobody is allowed to criticize me. Basically, is what she said. So I think
She
she
said that in
probably
the comment
criticized
section.
her. Hmm.
Oh, okay. She want that cult following real bad, real bad.
They blocked me over there, so I ain't.
Irby, it's no loss to be blocked from the Pretty Dumb Club. Okay, so but in any case, this has been.
Oh, I wanted to comment on the dating passport bro thing. They're gonna call me a simp for this, but I like to stick with American women because that's who I'm more comfortable with. My American women. So I like Puerto Rican and Dominican, Cuban women, but they got to be Americanized. So
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just feel like if your stance is I can't find someone in America and I have to go outside of America, babe, everyone isn't the problem. The problem is probably you. And that literally goes for anything. It's like if you can't hold down a job, if you can't get this and that done, you blame everybody and they fucking mama, and it's in no way, shape, or form you're not responsible. The problem, it's definitely you are the problem. You are said problem, and changing locations isn't going to do it. It's not going to fix it. And the
Well,
men that have lied and said that it fixes it, it doesn't.
Well, he said that it was just a narrative on YouTube that they were saying that he was over there for sex tourism, and we're just like, just stop. You didn't go over there for the empanadas, okay? Like, just stop.
Right.
but y'all didn't,
Not those kind.
but y'all didn't hear
You don't want nobody to say nothing, bitch.
Multi Gigi. Y'all didn't
Stop
hear
exploiting them women.
Multi and Gigi. Multi and Gigi. Y'all didn't hear. Yeah, these dudes claim that biracial women in America don't want them. When they go over there, those Latin women want them.
Oh, well, I mean, we don't want their asses, but okay. They got that part right.
Well, guys, this has been a fun stream, I think, but I do need to wrap it up because
But I
it's.
think.
I mean, we do have to wrap it. I mean, this thing can go on for
Shady.
4 or 5. I mean, this can go on for 4 or 5 hours, but I'm not doing a 5. I'm not doing a marathon stream because I do. Even though I'm definitely not on medical leave. I do got appointments to do, things of that nature.
That is crazy. Though. I've been seeing other people be doing live for like 5 hours straight. I don't know,
All
but
right, we got to let Jose go. Everybody say Jerry's final thought.
Great conversation. Good to talk to y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
great
Oh,
Thanks
and
for
hit the
having me
like
up.
on
Hit the
Jose.
like. Yay, leave a comment. Come through. Bye.
Mhm. Great stream, Jose, as always. Peace. Do you ignore the circus?
Okay, thank you very much. So now I'm going to give you my final thoughts. It was a good stream. I think it was very humorous. I wanted to address a topic, which needed to be addressed, is what defines a simp and what behavior, you know, if you do, will lead you to become a simp. Okay, it wasn't meant to be anti-male, anti-female. It's not even meant to be anti-mulatto. It's just that these are things that I wanted to discuss because here we believe in talking facts, not fiction. So, of course, a huge shout out to everyone that appeared in the chat, and of course, a huge shout out to everyone that appeared on the panel. And again, please show some love to the YouTube creators that was on the chat or on the panel. Please check out Multi's content and subscribe to her channel. Check out Gigi's channels and check her content. also do the same thing with Don Armando. So the bottom line is this. If you see yourself in a situation when you are going way overboard over someone that does not reciprocate, the time for you to end this and try to find someone that will reciprocate. And if you have an issue ending that type of behavior, you need to seek help. You need to speak with someone, whether it be a therapist or a sibling or whatever you, because if you continue through this path, you're going to be a target for someone that's going to take advantage of you. Just to let everybody know, I'm going to be live Thursday night on my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora, and I'm going to have another discussion regarding open discussion where I'm going to talk about things that are on my mind, and of course, you, the audience, will have an opportunity to opine, and if you have anything that you want me to discuss, I will do my best to discuss those things. So with that being said, I'm going to close the same way I always close, which is we must do everything possible to avoid the presence of mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, and peace.